In a horrifying escalation of a decades-old territorial dispute, the border between Thailand and Cambodia has erupted into full-scale conflict, with F-16 fighter jets raining down bombs and heavy artillery fire sending shockwaves across Southeast Asia. The fighting, which began on Thursday, July 24, has already claimed dozens of lives, including many civilians, and forced over 130,000 people to flee their homes in terror. What began as a landmine incident has spiraled into the bloodiest confrontation between these two nations in over a decade, raising fears of a broader destabilization in the region. This is a developing crisis, and its impact is already devastating. The most alarming development: reports and images from Cambodia indicate that Thai airstrikes have directly impacted the Preah Vihear Temple, a revered 11th century Hindu temple complex recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This act, if confirmed as intentional, would constitute a grave violation of international law and a crime against shared cultural heritage. Cambodia's Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts has vehemently condemned the attack, stating it caused severe damage to the temple structures. Thailand, however, has fiercely rejected Cambodia's accusation, calling it a distortion of facts and politically motivated, denying any damage to cultural or civilian zones. This conflicting narrative underscores the deep mistrust fueling this brutal conflict. For those unfamiliar with the history, the conflict is centered around a contested section of the 817-kilometer, 508-mile border between the two countries. At its heart lies the Preah Vihear Temple, awarded to Cambodia by the International Court of Justice (ICJ) in 1962. However, Thailand still claims a 4.6 square kilometer area around the temple. Tensions flared in 2008 after Cambodia registered the temple as a UNESCO site, leading to deadly clashes in 2011. While a UN court ruling in 2013 seemingly settled the matter for over a decade, the current crisis erupted in May of this year when a Cambodian soldier was killed in a new skirmish, reigniting dormant hostilities. The prelude to this week's devastating violence saw months of escalating tensions. A brief skirmish at the Emerald Triangle Tripoint resulted in the death of a Cambodian soldier. Both nations immediately accused each other of instigating the clash. A critical turning point occurred on Wednesday, July 23, when 5 Thai soldiers stepped on a landmine in Thailand's Ubon Ratchathani province, sustaining serious injuries. The very next day, Thursday, July 24, the full-scale armed conflict erupted. Thailand scrambled F-16 fighter jets to bomb targets, while Cambodia claimed Thai forces launched heavy artillery towards civilian areas. The Cambodian Ministry of National Defense accused Thailand of using cluster munitions, a claim Thailand denied, asserting Cambodia may be guilty of war crimes due to civilian deaths. The human cost of this conflict is devastating. As of Saturday, July 26, the death toll on both sides has risen to at least 32, with over 130 injured. More than 138,000 people have been evacuated from Thailand's border regions, with over 300 evacuation centers opened. In Cambodia, approximately 20,000 residents have fled from the northern border with Thailand. Heart-wrenching images show families streaming away from the border, seeking refuge in makeshift camps. Hospitals near the border have been partially evacuated after being struck by artillery shells, creating a dire humanitarian crisis. The international community has reacted with alarm. The United Nations Security Council, UNSC, held an emergency meeting on Friday, July 25, discussing the crisis. All 15 UNSC members called for de-escalation, restraint, and a peaceful resolution. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres urged both sides to exercise maximum restraint and address any issues through dialogue. Regional powers, including ASEAN member states, have also urged caution and a diplomatic solution. The United States and China have both called for an immediate end to hostilities. The domestic political situations in both countries are also playing a significant role. In Thailand, acting Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai is leading the response, taking over after Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra was suspended earlier in July. This power vacuum in Thailand has effectively handed more authority over border matters to the military. In Cambodia, Prime Minister Hun Manet has forcefully asserted his country's right to defend its sovereignty. The immediate future remains uncertain. Thailand has declared martial law in 8 of its border districts, indicating readiness for prolonged conflict. Cambodia has called for an immediate ceasefire but also accused Thailand of war crimes. Both sides are digging in, blaming each other for the initial provocations and the ongoing violence. The bombing of a UNESCO World Heritage Site adds a deeply troubling dimension to this conflict. The world watches with bated breath, hoping for a swifter escalation before this regional dispute spirals into an even wider catastrophe. The danger of continued escalation is real, threatening regional stability and human lives. Please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated with the latest breaking stories.